Buying a home, like anything you do for the first time, comes with a learning curve. Yet many first-time homebuyers hesitate to ask the questions that can help them avoid first-timer mistakes, and that often leads to buyer's remorse. Having useful information about what's involved in home buying, both around the home itself and financing, can make the process go much smoother. Most buyers have the assumption that there's going to be a ton of steps involved, but it's really not that complicated if you follow the process correctly. In this video, I'm going to go over the most common mistakes that buyers make when purchasing their first home. Let's start out with the common mistakes when financing your first home purchase, and then get to the home itself, finding it, evaluating it, and negotiating for it. Mistake number one, I would say, is hesitating to ask for information or clarity. I consistently hear people say, I should have asked, but I didn't want to look dumb. Of course, they say this after the transaction is closed or at the closing table when it's too late. My pro tip, ask questions, lots of them. Expect your loan officer to provide an overview of the process and build trust so you can either move ahead with the purchase or take steps to become ready. Mistake number two, improper planning for how you will come up with your down payment. When you buy a home with a mortgage, you typically have to bring at least 3% of the purchase price at closing. That's called a down payment. The source for the down payment varies. Some buyers tap their savings, sell stocks, receive gifts from family and friends, but the money has to be sourced and seasoned. What this means is the money has to be verified and traced. If you have $5,000 in $100 bills in a shoebox, the answer is no. Ask your lender what needs to be done before you take it upon yourself to move money around. There has to be a proper paper trail, and lenders have very specific rules. Do not screw this up, or it could cost you your new house. Mistake number three, failing to build and protect your credit score. Your credit score is an important measure that lenders consider when deciding whether to give you a mortgage and the interest rate that they'll charge you. Your credit score is influenced by a number of things and can take a hit if you run up large credit card bills or finance a large purchase, such as a car, even months before applying for a mortgage. For the love of God, once you decide to start the process of buying a home, don't make any major purchases. Mistake number four, not investigating down payment assistance programs before seeking financing. A lot of buyers are unaware of the different types of low interest forgivable loans and grant programs to help first-time buyers. Saving for a down payment is often the biggest challenge for first-timers, and you can qualify for a home loan with no money down or with a low down payment of about 3%, or zero if you're a veteran. You may also qualify for down payment assistance through a local program by your county or even your city. But, the key is to look first, not last. These programs typically require you to attend classes, and the money doesn't last forever, and then it's gone until next year. Ask your realtor or lender to direct you, and if you don't have someone to ask, then ask me. Number five, failing to negotiate closing costs. Closing costs are always open to negotiation. Sellers often pay a share of the cost, or they can buy down the interest rate to help lower your monthly payment, especially in housing markets that favor buyers. Your agent and loan officer can help identify areas for negotiation. Keep in mind though, if we get back into a seller's market, it is very difficult to negotiate the seller to cover closing costs, especially in a multiple offer situation. Number six, not considering the monthly payment before making an offer. I always tell my customers no house payment will be the same. For example, let's say there's two different houses, two different neighborhoods that you're considering. Let's say that they're also both listed for $400,000. Now you might assume that the payment would be the same because the price is the same, and you would be assuming wrong. Different houses have different property taxes, different insurance rates, and HOA fees can vary even from one house to another, even inside the same neighborhood. You're paying a monthly payment more so than you're paying a price. So if you're getting a loan, run the numbers and know what your payment will be. Number seven, lacking knowledge about interest rates and how they affect affordability and buying power. Even seemingly small changes in rates can affect whether a home is affordable or not. For instance, if you budgeted about $1,800 a month for a mortgage payment and the interest rate dropped 1 percentage point from 7 to 6, you could spend about $30,000 more on a home without increasing your monthly payment. Add to that, there are creative ways that us realtors can negotiate for you and get the seller to buy down your rate and increase your buying power. Number 8, taking rejection personally. Not getting a home you put an offer on can be hard on some buyers, and some take it personally. They've already imagined buying the furniture. They imagine their family in that home. And when they get outbid on a house where they've imagined their future, it really hits some people hard. You might get lucky and buy the first house that you set your sights on. Trust me, it happens quite often. But it's more likely that you're going to look at multiple homes, and if the market is hot or the home is perfect, you may not get the first one you offer on. My advice is, if you see a house and you love it, make a strong offer. I've seen so many buyers start out trying to get a deal and try to lowball the seller, and that usually just ends in disappointment. Mistake number 9, not realizing that pre-approvals are good for an extended period. Buyers often become discouraged if they miss out on a home that they want and may pause their shopping because they don't want to repeat the process. But most buyers don't realize that many lender pre-approvals are good for 90 days, giving extra time to find a home. If you miss out on a home you fell in love with, just take a little break, brush yourself off, and get back out there looking. Mistake number 10, buying more house than you can comfortably afford. Just because you qualify for a $500,000 loan does not mean you have to spend every dollar of it. As your realtor, I want you to be in a comfortable scenario where you can have a house that you love within your comfortable monthly budget and still be able to go buy a Starbucks coffee every once in a while. Get pre-qualified for a lender so you know your purchasing power, but also have your lender go over different monthly payments at different purchase prices. Number 11, this is a big one. Failing to negotiate concessions from sellers. Every home purchase involves negotiating, even over things that might seem impossible. For example, I negotiated a $15,000 tractor to be included in the sale of a 10-acre horse farm I sold a few years back. The negotiation could include things like patio furniture, washer and dryer, or even house plants and curtains. On the flip side, you should always make sure items such as the appliances are included in the sale. The rule of thumb is, if it's nailed down or screwed down, it stays. But things such as hot tubs and the extra fridge in the garage are actually excluded more times than not. My advice is, don't assume the sellers won't negotiate, especially in a buyer's market. Most importantly is the negotiation of the seller paying some or all of your closing costs. It is quite typical that we can get the seller to pay for at least some of your closing costs, and every dollar we can get them to agree to is $1 less that you will have to come out of pocket with at closing. My pro tip, just don't go crazy with this. If the seller won't leave the 75-inch TV, don't let that be the reason that you won't move forward. Number 12, not researching agents. Finding an agent who can guide the process and strategize ways to craft a winning offer is highly important, and yet many buyers don't vet their agents for experience or success. A lot of agents sell 1 or 2 houses a year, and you, as the consumer who's thinking about entering this market, really should do your research and look at the agent's reviews and what other clients are saying about them. In case you're wondering, I've sold well over 1,000 homes and have tons of 5-star reviews. But don't take my word for it, just look me up on Zillow. If you're not in my market, my advice is to ask any realtor you're considering to send you a link to their reviews or just Google their name. If they don't come up at the top of the search page on Google, you're probably working with an inexperienced agent. Now, I'm not saying a rookie agent doesn't deserve to be considered because we all started with 0 sales, but just do your research before you go with the first agent you meet. Number 13, considering only turnkey homes. Turnkey homes come at a premium and are likely to be the most in demand. Focusing only on those homes means you could lose out at a time when inventory is low and demand for homes that require no work is almost always strong. Purchasing a fixer might help you get the location or square footage and layout that you want without having to pay top dollar. Your loan type will usually limit your ability to buy a house that needs major repairs, but as long as the roof, electric, plumbing, and AC system are in good working order, you should be okay. Number 14, not looking at different home types, including new construction. Some buyers avoid looking at all home types, which really can be limiting, especially if you're in an area with a lot of new construction. Newly built homes often come with financial incentives for buyers, which can help lower your monthly payment and closing costs. If your budget is tight, considering townhomes might also be worth your while. Also, keep in mind that if you cross over a county line, property taxes might be cheaper. My suggestion is to be flexible when you begin your home search and narrow down your criteria as you go. Number 15, being unwilling to compromise on home features or neighborhoods. It's great to know what you want in a home, but having a long list of must-haves that you're unwilling to let go of can leave you empty-handed. Regardless of the price point, it's tough to find everything on your dream list. I've helped hundreds of home buyers, and there's always a little give and take. I also have to say that it's actually quite rare that buyers end up purchasing what they initially told me that they want. So, try to keep an open mind when you first start out. If you aren't finding the right house in the right location at the right price, I recommend that you adjust your expectations about what you can find for the location or expand your search out geographically. Don't wait too long for the right home because prices continue to rise. Even though the market dropped a little bit in late 2023 and 2024, I've already seen the prices start to creep back up here in November. Number 16, writing off homes that have lingered on the market. Sometimes homes are on the market for reasons not related to the house. An offer fell through because the buyer couldn't financing. That happens all the time. Or sometimes the appraisal comes in lower than the asking price and the home ends up sitting on the market for a while. Maybe the seller originally had the property listed much higher than the current price and just recently reduced. If the house meets your criteria, the days on market should not deter you. Fact is, a house that's been on the market for a while is usually the best opportunity because the seller is probably more open to negotiation. 17, ignoring potential hidden costs. If you're moving to a new state or even a different community, you may be unaware that different states, counties, and cities have their own rules and ordinances that could impact your home buying budget. The price may seem affordable, but in reality there might be flood insurance, HOA fees, high property taxes, or special assessments. The best solution here is just ask your realtor. Just be realistic. If you're looking at a house near the water, there's probably flood insurance required. If you're looking at a house in a beautiful gated community with tons of amenities, there's probably high HOA fees. Number 18, the epic mistake, waiving home inspections. Some buyers are so eager to get an offer accepted on a home that they're willing to waive the home inspection. I've seen some buyers just being cheap and trying to save a couple $100. You certainly have the right to waive inspection, but at a minimum, I recommend having a 4-point done. Most insurance companies will require this anyway, so at least make sure the roof, plumbing, electric, and HVAC are in good shape. If you're buying a home you already know needs work and my team is representing you, we have a Rolodex of home improvement professionals. They can give you an idea of what might be involved in improving the home and provide cost estimates so you know how much you're going to need to budget. Number 19, choosing against a home based on things that can be easily changed. It's hard to find the perfect home, and even harder if your list of wants is long and specific. I had a buyer who wanted to pass on a home because it didn't have granite countertops in the kitchen. It turns out she thought the cost would be 4 times what I was able to get my granite guy to do the job for. Once again, it all goes back to having a good realtor who isn't just good at showing you houses, but also understands the industry. Finding a home that has everything exactly as you want is rare, and if we do it, it is likely to come at a premium. Walls can be painted, flooring can be changed, and it's easy to justify a lower offer to a seller on a home that does need cosmetic updates. Okay, if you're still with me, then I'd say you must be pretty serious about buying your first home. I hope at least a handful of the mistakes I've gone over here will stick with you so you can avoid making them in your home buying process. If you're looking to purchase anywhere in the Southwest Florida area, I would love the opportunity for my team and I to help you directly in your journey to home ownership. Again, I'm Alex Colley, and you can text or call me directly at 813-270-3329. If you have any questions that weren't covered here, be sure to check out our other videos on our YouTube channel, or feel free to message us in the comments section and we'll get back to you. I wish you the best of luck in your journey. It's been a pleasure creating this video for you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to receive alerts when we post new content. Hey guys, Alex here. Thanks for watching this video. Click here to see related content. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out.